right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that?
Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards. That one is bunker bound, it looks like. And the tee shot ends up in the bunker.
There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point, you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle.
Out of the sand and back on the fairway.
Yeah, good shot. Just really utilized that little bit between the ears. Realized he couldn't reach the green and instead opted for fairway. Yeah, that was a little over-ambitious.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Frank, they threw him a life vest. He's back on dry land.
And I hope this time he swings, he doesn't have the water wings on.
So this is his fourth shot after the last one found the water.
It's not all over, but right now, too, he's staring down the barrel of a very bad hole.
Frank, can one small tweak from an instructor lead to a big turnaround?
With the right player, yeah. You just want to hear the right message. It's like anyone in life. You just want to be pointed in the right direction.
This one doesn't look good.
Is water over there?
Frank, this is where a golfer's mind is really tested here after hitting one out of bounds.
Well, on the flip side, though, Rich, you know what you've done wrong. So erase it. Time to put a good swing on it.
This is the fifth shot after going out of bounds on that previous shot. That is classy.
They had a chance of going in.
So, Frank, he'll take a drop here.
Yeah, he'll take his medicine, take his penalty shot. The hole's not over yet.
Ricky Fowler playing his fourth shot. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Oh my goodness, he just missed that. And that was almost tap-in distance. Well, call it youthful indiscretion. This one got away from Spieth, has this now for double bogey. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Rory McIlroy looking to take advantage with this putt. That's a par, and that keeps the scorecard clean, still even for the round. Now he has this for double bogey. At +2 already. Three over for the day.
Rich, they're trying to ransack it. That ball's heading our way.
Is that a golf shot or a cannonball?
Duck!
Look out! Frank, looks like he came over just a little bit.
Yeah, that one wasn't pretty, but it's still gonna get away with it.
So on the putting surface, and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Might want to check the GPS on a putt this long. Pretty good stroke right there, just to hit it through the break.
It's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Settles in over the putt. Ooh, almost fell. Just a few inches from dropping.
Sometimes the game just isn't fair.
He has this for a birdie. And has it, and now at 2 over par. +1 in the early going. Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. Did the job right there. Well, Frank, on this hole, the play obviously is to the left, but not too far left.
Too far left and you find the water. You'll find a water grave down there, but you're right. Skinny fairway down that left side. This old Captain Hook does bend to the right. And good tee shot, you just might be able to reach this par 5 into.
Funny that a hole called Captain Hook would bend to the right. Well, this one's sweet, Frank.
Super.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Well, he pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. You'll need a bit of force to extract one out of there.
Frank, in golf, as we know, there's short grass and there's long grass. We all want to be in that short grass, but it doesn't always work out that way. So what's the most important element from the shot, from the rough?
You have to be a little bit more conservative first and foremost, because you can't guarantee a perfect strike out of the long grass. So therefore you have to look around around the greens, maybe short, to the right, to the left, and realize what's involved. And also just give yourself a slightly bigger target. Good recovery shot. Couldn't make the green, but at least he's back in play.
Played the smart shot right there. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Frank, downhill shot here. Will he have to take it just a little bit easier?
Yeah, be careful with the ball position as well. If you play the ball too far forward and try and scoop it, it's not going to work.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. And this attempt will be from about 130 yards. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Ricky looking at the lip, eyeing it for par.
How did that not go in?
Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Well, that hurts. He has a birdie opportunity here. To 1 over par early on in this round. All right, no damage done. Stays at 1 over par with that putt. So, with that, 3 over par now for the round. Well, Frank, as if this tee shot wasn't hard enough, look what's in the distance, just to throw a little scare into the player.
Devil's Cauldron, that's the volcano in the distance, but it's also a good line there, Rich. This is a really narrow fairway that's anything other than straight. So your tee shot, you really have to imagine where that ball's going to land. Which part of the fairway is it going to land on?
You really need to be on your game here at Treasure Island. No fairway here, this one in that rough.
There's something about a well-hit shot.
Well, now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up. You can bring it in high. You can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Well, Frank, obviously way too much club there.
You got to think something like that, or at least misread the wind. This is never going to sit down. Well, it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Fowler getting ready for his third. Made the green. Now his third, staring right at the green. When Jordan Spieth won the John Deere Classic in 2013 at age 19, get this, he became the first teenager to win on tour in more than 80 years.
Amazing. And also to qualify on his own for the Ryder Cup, to be the second youngest of all time to do that.
He was the youngest American to play the Ryder Cup since 1929. In the green side bunker, Frank, little bit of a problem. Not his best shot, and now he'll have to deal with a bunker.
Yeah, they say the hardest shot in golf, the next one.
All right, so green side bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
He'll need to be strong with this. And getting ready for the putt. Three over for the day. One thing Spieth has shown early in his career, he is rock solid on the par. In for par. Hasn't been easy, but he'll take it. That's a par. 3 over for the day. Well, Frank, as we zero in on this hole, you can see plainly that it requires well, should we say,
a good head.
A heady approach.
That's right. Skull on the right will remind you of that enormous feature there on the right side. And that's one of the things about the short par 4 is there's so many little architectural features you'll follow along the way. Skinny fairway just bends a little to the left like a cutlass. And then once you get up on the green, it's the Jolly Roger is the shape of the green, skull and crossbones.
That's right.
And plus the bunkers, they don't look like normal bunkers, Rich.
You know, what happened here, Frank?
Well, they say there's treasure on this island, and those, well, they were man-made. They were digging for anything other than sand.
That's in the fairway. Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Well, he'd like to have that one back in the bunker.
Still a chance to get it up and down.
Digs in, ready for the bunker shot.
Yeah, second shot here. Just try and aim a little bit behind that ball, an inch or two.
Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. Lays the face open. He'll try to pop this one out. Pretty good strike right there, Frank, but he's leaning as if it's headed just a tad to the right.
Yeah, not all bad.
Frank, any of the holes at Treasure Island remind you of anything on the PGA Tour?
There's a feeling, actually, on some of these holes, and the feeling's very reminiscent to standing on the 17th hole at TPC Sawgrass, the island green.
Locked in on the read and the speed. No doubt about that one. That was struck with confidence.
It's no snack, though.
Hard putt, soft hands, beautiful roll. So a tester from 4 feet. Nice putt, and now back to level par. 6th hole now at Treasure Island, Frank. This is a severe downhill par 4.
A series of tee boxes here to play, but you're right, Rich. Just sort of tee it up there, let that ball float a little further because of the downhill. Tee shot wants to be left of that huge needle rock to the player's right. And from there, once again, you're not going to have a long second shot to a green that is very, very kind.
You are going to have some really good views from up here. Frank, I hate to go negative, but let's clear a few things up. The penalties when you hit it in the water versus hitting it out of bounds.
Yeah, some people, that's a good question, Rich, because some people think they're almost the same, but when you hit it out of bounds, you're actually losing a stroke and a distance. For example, if I'm teeing off on a par 4 and I hit it out of bounds, I'm penalised a stroke for hitting it out of bounds, and I'm hitting my 3rd shot off the tee. When I hit it into a water hazard, I don't have to lose all of that distance. I can drop the ball up just short of the water hazard. So the distance penalty isn't the same as if it was out of bounds.
So hit the previous shot in the water, took a drop. This now the 3rd shot. Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living. There is fairway out there. There is.
He can't find it, though. Frank, it's a hard game to play from the high grass.
And that's where he's been more often than not today.
Looks like about 80 yards left. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Miss hit, wrong club. What happened there, Frank?
All of the above, maybe. It's a little bit of a head scratcher. It wasn't that hard a shot.
These winds have held up all day long, definitely playing a part in the shot making we're seeing out there today.
Well, just a little too much, Rich.
I don't know if it was wind at his back, he didn't calculate it, but he's going to be left with a difficult chip shot here. Frank, out of the rough, best to swing a little bit easier or get after it with all you have.
Well, a little bit in between. Obviously, it's going to require a little bit of strength to make sure that club keeps going through, but it's still the planning of the shot. Once again, check short. Is there anything I have to carry? And even remember, there's always the option of just simply pitching the ball down the fairway and taking your medicine.
Frank, these days golfers are training like high-level athletes from other sports. Rory McIlroy, for example, has been using a guy by the name of Steve McGregor, who happened to be the trainer for the New York Knicks of the NBA.
And part of his training now is high altitude. The majority of the medal holders, for example, in the Olympics, or medal winners in the Olympics, actually use high altitude training. You know, you can develop more red blood cells in a shorter period of time. But, you know, golf, we've had so many different types of training from the athlete side. But you go back to the old days of Henry Cotton beating an old tire. Vijay Singh picked up on that. Or even the rhythm of Sam Snead. He used to count in the rhythm. It was 1, 2, 3. It was 1 at the top of the swing, 2 at impact, and 3 at the follow through. All those things are still very valid today.
And it is in.
Amazing. Amazing.
Settles in over the putt. sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. So 1 over par for the round. So 2 over par for the round. Here's the second par 5 on the front 9. It's the 7th. Frank, what's the strategy here? What a hole.
I think when you stand on this tee, you really have to accept the fact that it's going to take you 3 shots to get here, no matter how good you are. Not really worth the go, because you'd have to hit some sort of monumental second shot that got up very, very quickly. And chances are you won't get a flat lie on this fairway. It is anything other than straight and anything other than level. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Frank, this is good golfing weather. Nice strong breeze. Good tee shot right in the short grass. He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time.
Well, with a good shot here, Rich, this eagle on the cards, hole very reachable from where he is.
Don't get many opportunities like this. This is a good place to take advantage. Not very good at all right there.
No, I think it's time to sell the clubs, buy a tennis racket.
Now the second shot to the par 5. Not enough on that one.
Yeah, it just seemed to baby it.
He's facing 100 yards here.
Yeah, Rich, the reason why the best players enjoy stroke play so much is that every single shot's going to count. And you can't get away with anything in stroke play.
You have to manage your game, and you have to manage your emotions as well, because it can get away from you in a hurry. Playing a par 5, Frank, what happened on that third shot?
Yeah, it's a poor decision. But, well, hopefully he can eradicate that from the memory banks and really knuckle down on this. Do not want to drop a shot or make 6 here.
Frank, over the course of the last 15 years or so, there have been a number of initiatives within the game of golf just to try to grow the sport.
Yeah, we've seen the PGA Junior League, which is a series of competitions, obviously for juniors to play. But the first tee really is worldwide now, just to try and introduce players from all over the world into the game of golf. They're introduced with club professionals. They learn skills that are essential really to play the game of golf. But in 2014 was a real step, what I think, in the right direction to showcase the junior talent around the world with the drive, chip and putt, where you actually get a chance to play the drive, chip and putt final at Augusta National, the home of the Masters.
Imagine young kids, boys and girls, 8 years old, 11 years old, being able to go home and tell their friends, tell their families, hey, I have something in common with Jack Nicklaus, with Arnold Palmer, with Phil Mickelson, with Tiger Woods. I won at Augusta National Golf Club. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in.
Rich, too much grass between ball and club face.
Paid a price with the tee ball landing in the rough.
Rich, I thought he could get this close.
That just is amazing. Just a mind blower right there. Absolutely incredible. He made the shot. This one just requires a little bit of focus. So he has that for bogey. I can't help but think that the double bogey back on the 4th hole seems to have really put him off his game. Routine stuff for Rory. That's a par. You're out of sorts, aren't you? You don't quite know what to make of that.
Yeah, well, X marks the spot. And I know on a treasure map, that means gold, silver, countless jewels. In a game of golf, I'm not so sure.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Good chance at one. Frank, way offline all day long.
Yeah, this is a head scratcher, really. I've seen him play before. Normally much better than this. This is abnormal, that's for sure.
No fairway here, this one in that rough. Second shot coming out of the rough here. And setting up here in the rough. Birdie chance now for Jordan Spieth. Ooh, I thought he had that. Made a good run at birdie. They'll have to focus now. Try to walk away with the par. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Just trying to keep this round on track. Has that putt, stays at 1 over. And he makes it for par. Did the job right there. Well, partner, this is a straightforward hole. Got some trouble on the left and a mermaid on the right.
Oh, mermaid's good luck. We're going to need some good luck here. Keep a little left of the mermaid, down that left side. And you see the two masts in the distance? Yeah, that's a pirate ship. So the left mast, left side of the green, right mast, right side of the green.
I see any pirate ship. I can't take my eyes off the mermaid. Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up. There's something about a well-hit shot.
Ricky Fowler, a Gen X superstar, ready with his approach shot. This is a good-looking shot. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way. Second shot.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. This is a putt for birdie from long range. Probably would be happy to get down in two. He can't believe it. Thought it was in. Locked in on the read and the speed.
Oh, now that is going to hurt. Really. This is an awkward length.
That's a birdie for McIlroy. He's just so explosive. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Frank, he just can't seem to put it together today.
Yeah, really, you've got to go back to that double bogey, Rich, because ever since then, it's been like a different player. And that's one thing that you have to get over, experience-wise. Somehow you've got to let that go, but it is easier to say and harder to do.
All right, no damage done. Stays at 1 over par with that putt. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo getting set to play the back nine here at Treasure Island. Frank, looks as though you're not only going to need your clubs, you might need a map.
You certainly will, Rich. We're heading into Buccaneers Bay here, and we'll be teeing off the pirate ship on the 10th hole. A sliver of fairway down the left side in amongst the rocks there. Stay on the green grass. Don't be a shipwreck.
What was he thinking there?
I have no earthly idea.
And has it, and now at 2 over par. Okay, has it, and stays at 1 over par. One over for the day. Frank, you and I have done commentary in golf all over the world. Have you ever seen a par 5 anything like this one?
No, I haven't, Rich, and I don't think I ever will again either. Treasure Island, there's only one of them, that's for sure, and there's only one hole like the 11th there. 5 different fairways to choose from.
5?
5, and it depends on your level of ability and how bold you are. Another little bit of feel.
So toweled off, dried off, and ready to go.
Yeah, let's hope this swing hasn't still got the floaties on.
Third shot now after the last one found the deep blue.
Yeah, you can still minimize the damage here. It's only one bad shot that you got punished for.
Every once in a while you're reminded this is a pretty hard game.
That was evidence.
He'll need to be strong with this.
Good recovery shot. Couldn't make the green, but at least he's back in play.
Played the smart shot right there. Frank, the handicap system in golf really is the great equalizer, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no sport like it. I can't imagine going to Wimbledon and playing, sort of Djokovic or Federer or, playing NFL with Peyton Manning. But, the beauty of golf.
NASA, we have a splashdown. This now the fourth shot after the last one was in the water.
Yeah, just somehow just get it on the green. That was terrible.
Frank, this is one you don't practice, but sometimes you have to do it. Time for the drop.
Yeah, it should be the easiest shot in golf. You've just paid for it.
Good work right there. He'll settle for par. You're running a little hot right now. Cool down just a little bit. Par for McIlroy, but you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. Frank, this is why gamers love Treasure Island, because of the challenge, because of holes like this.
There's always choices to be made. The biggest fairway, do you go for that? Do you go for the longest fairway? Do you go for the shortest fairway? All those choices, those fairways, they're just a little bit bigger than the size of a green. Once you find a fairway, there it is in the distance. That's the pot of gold.
Where do you drop your clubs and go to the beach and call it a day? I mean, this is some tough work out here.
Rich, do you think we should tell him this fairway out there?
Yeah, he's been in the rough all day long. Strong wind here early in the round. How do you think this is going to affect the players, Frank?
Well, they've got to be clever on club selection and the type of shot they want to hit now.
Good tee shot, good lie, and now a good chance to take advantage here on this hole. Second shot now for Ricky Fowler. Frank, they threw him a life vest. He's back on dry land.
And I hope this time he swings, he doesn't have the water wings on.
Playing his fourth shot after the third was wet.
Rich, I think he's going for a different green. Are we on the wrong hole?
That's not a green in regulation. That's a green in miscalculation. Now the game's #1 player, Rory McIlroy, ready with his approach. Oh man, not a good shot at all.
It was wicked.
Nice putt, and now back to level par. finally in for a double bogey. In for bogey, now sitting at 2 over for the round. Frank, the par 5 13th here at Treasure Island. I have to say, this makes the par 5 18th famous hole at Pebble Beach look like a walk in the park.
It certainly does. All the choices here, though, Rich, at the 13th, and, well, 13 is unlucky for some. The fairway for most is always down the right, but then if you hit your tee shot, then where do you go next? You go down the left on that little sliver of land. You go further down there in the nice big patch of green grass. That leaves you an easy third shot. Perhaps, maybe even try for 2 at this par 5 that measures close to 600 yards. That's as bad a shot as I've seen for a long while.
Frank, safe to say he is not having his best day out here today. What kind of advice do you give a player who's struggling?
Well, you just almost got to forget what's happened. I know that's easier said than done. Just start a clean slate. Just hit a good shot. Just find a fairway. Don't try and get too specific. There's enough out there. The greens are...
Frank, this is where a round can get away. You've just knocked it OB.
Yeah, that shot's never going to come back now. So he doesn't want to compile the error.
Getting set now for his 4th shot. Took the penalty after hitting it out of bounds.
Yeah, this can get away from him here.
Frank, you're in the business of analyzing golf shots.
I don't want to see that one again.
So into red figures at 1 under. That's good work. That's a good par right there. Just a shade over par, +1. Frank, the thing about Treasure Island is at any point a player could stop and consider just where they are. And if they're not where they need to be mentally, they could really be thrown off their game. And you're right at the base of a volcano here.
Well, it's a chance for your round to heat up, too. He's going for a little extra.
Just amazing what they're able to do with that golf swing. Hit it so far at that size, but man, can really move it a long ways. They'll be happy with that in the fairway. Now a good chance to attack this hole. Nice position, short grass, second shot. Appears to be what they call a commercial play, very solid. Well, that's how you do it. Hit it close, take the pressure off that putt. That one should be no problem. So, Frank, downhill shot, what's the right way to play it?
Well, normally downhill, you're also reducing the amount of loft. So you got two choices, either hit a little bit easier or actually take a little bit more loft.
Ricky can pick up a shot right here. Just a little too much juice on that birdie putt, Frank.
It was bold, very bold.
Could really use this one. It's for birdie. Just misses. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
So a tester from 4 feet. Now 2 to the good side. This one just requires a little bit of focus. It has been frustrating. 6 over par already. Did the job right there. Frank, this is where you begin to see almost this ingenious, evil nature of this design by the Pirates here at Treasure Island. It gets punishing to the finish.
It certainly does, Rich. This is also where we start our ascent to the summit of Devil's Cauldron with just a little tempting par 3. Just goes across. It has to be flighted well across the ravine, but it's got to be up, it better be high, and it better be long enough.
The grind is about to begin here at the par 3 15th. Each hole from here on out climbing up to the top of the volcano.
Should be safely on deck.
Superb shot.
Well, that's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
-3 now for the round. And now he has this for the birdie. And he has it for birdie. Moves to 5 over. Frank, the climb continues here at the 16th. Tricky, especially off that tee. You can see there's trouble there on the left.
Devil's elbow. That's why it's called that, Rich. Aim a little far left or don't find the landing strip and you will pay a severe price on this dogleg right par 4. Plus the green is just sort of cut right into the side of the volcano.
What was he thinking there?
I have no earthly idea.
Frank, can you recall a situation where before an important round, an instructor gave you one small tweak, maybe flare your left toe out, or just shift a little bit of the weight onto the back foot, where the instructor gave you that one small bit of advice and it made a huge difference?
Yeah, the list is too long, Rich, and it's normally just someone that you've trusted over the years, and we all make just little bad habits. Sometimes you're stooped over a little bit more than normal. You're not standing tall enough. The ball is too far back in your stance or too far forward. You're making a funny little move or your grip is different. It's always the little things that add up to the big problem.
This is position A, right in the fairway, and 180 yards to go. That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there. Second shot.
Frank, this is just a pleasure to watch. A player hitting on all cylinders at the top of his game.
Notice it's just flowing too. There's not a lot of deep analysis going through his mind. Just one step in front of the other. If your swing's there, you don't have to find it. If your putting stroke's there, you don't have to find it. Just let it happen.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. See if he can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. Let's see what Ricky Fowler can come up with here on the approach. Not enough on that one.
Yeah, just seemed to baby it.
Flagstick 150 yards away.
Well, that's a smart shot. A lot of people would have tried to be a little more heroic from there, but there was no need.
Back on the fairway, back in play.
Well, just a little too much, Rich.
I don't know if it was wind at his back, he didn't calculate it, but he's going to be left with a difficult chip shot here. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Frank, this ball's in the rough. You like to hinge just a little bit quicker on the takeaway when the ball is down like this?
No, when it's down, you've just got to make sure that you wind up almost like you're hitting a tee shot. This is not one to be dallied with. You've got to hit it powerfully, and you really have to focus on that club getting through the grass, past the ball, and out the other side.
He can really get red hot with a putter. Let's see what McIlroy does. Three under on the day. Frank, this is kind of like walking the plank here at the 17th hole. Zero margin for error.
Yeah, the hole bends to the left a little bit like a boomerang. But just to find the fairway takes something with nerve, precision, and a lot of guts. From there, it shouldn't be a difficult second shot. But like I said, find the fairway. You need nerve.
Always makes the hole easier, playing it from the fairway. Second shot now for Ricky Fowler. This is a good-looking shot. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Good scoring opportunity right here from 125 yards or so. Frank, you've been around this game for a pretty long time. Are players, in fact, more athletic today than they were, say, 20, 25 years ago?
There's no question, Rich, they are. That if you can't make the player better, you can make them more athletic. And in the end, you're still making the golfer better.
Settles in over the putt.
Just a fraction too aggressive. Remember, line and speed go together.
Sometimes you want that birdie so badly, and all of a sudden you're faced with a lot of work, more work than you had hoped for, just to make the par.
Oh, how did that miss?
Are you kidding me? I mean, that one was dead center. Good chance here. Man,
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts.
Even par currently.
That's a par, and that keeps the scorecard clean, still even for the round. Par for McIlroy. But you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. Six over for the day. Standing on top of the world here at the 18th Frank at Treasure Island, tee box situated right at the lip of, just a volcano, that's all. How do you survive this hole, Frank?
Well, you've certainly lost all thoughts and memories of Buccaneers Bay, because this is it. This is the finale, and what a way it is to finish. Flash your tee shot, hopefully up high in the sky. Carry the lava, the hot, boiling, molten lava that is. Find the green safely, putt out, and that's it. You've finished. Treasure Island.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Terrific golf shot. And now, that for an easy birdie. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. So a 71 on the day. Ricky can pick up a shot right here. All right, going in the right direction at 5 over. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. That puts them at 4 under for the round. Frank, that was just a dazzling display of golf today.
It's amazing how a game at times it can be so hard and just... This was just an absolute joy to watch.